I'm also smart as well, and I feel like I've been able to show that in the interviews and just show, like I said, who I'm as a player and how the way I attack the game and how well Georgia has prepared me for moments like this and how the way I can sit in front of me, explain the whole defense, explain the whole offense with no hiccups and just be confident about my word and what I've learned over the past 5 years at Georgia.
You say the film speaks for itself. If you were going to turn the tape on from one game during your time at Georgia, what would that one game be to show teams your skill set?
I'd say Auburn back in 2020, but if we can go by games by this year, I'd say the Mississippi State game or either the Ohio State game. You know, just being the type of player that's always accountable for. I can go a whole game without any catches, but I feel like I'm a clutch receiver because it could be, I can, like I said, go a whole game without no catches, but then boom, they throw it to me one time. And that could be a game-changing play right there for a first move to change situations. So I feel like I'm always accountable for my teammates. I always put the team before myself. I'm a very unselfish player. And just knowing that when it's time to make a play, I know I can do it. And teams realize that on film.
What was it like seeing what Nolan and Robert did in the 40 and all that kind of stuff yesterday?
Very motivating, you know, just seeing those guys run as fast as they did pushed me to a standard I know I want to go set. So just knowing that those guys went out there and pushed to the limit and show what they can do and just show what Georgia has built over these past couple of years and knowing that they put in the work in these past couple of months to go out on the biggest stage and do the things that they did. So it was definitely motivating and like a standard that was set already.
What have you been working on specifically since the season ended, and where have you been working out?
I've been working out in Davie, Florida with Nick Hicks, just showing that what I can really do is, man, get my start right for the 40, just showing how explosive I can really be, just working on the small, fine details that I really don't get a chance to work at Georgia, just knowing that I can really be way more explosive than what I've showed on film, and just knowing that I have the opportunity this week to be able to show that, and I'm ready to go do it.
You mentioned that Auburn game from 2020. I know you weren't completely healthy in 2021, coming off of a little bit of a knee procedure. What have these last 2 years been like, being a contributing factor, but maybe not necessarily the leading receiver that you were back in 2020?
Right, it showed me what type of player I am. It showed me where I am with the ball in my hands, and it shows what type of player I am with the ball without my hands. And I'm a team player, you know. Like I say, I didn't have many touches the last couple of years, but if you cut on the tape, it felt like I had every touch every time I was out there because it was something that I did where I was making a block downfield, where I was covering down, pushing the pile, getting those extra yards. Those stats are not in the stat book, but if you cut on the tape and look at it, sure, I'm out there giving much as effort if I had the ball in my hand. So it just shows that I always give 100% each and every time I'm out on the field because, you only get limited chances and you only get so many opportunities. So you got to make the best of it with the ball in your hands or without the ball in your hands. So just being that guy that's always going to be accountable and just going to give it his all.
Now that you're gone from Athens, have you got a favorite Kirby Smart practice story that you were involved in that you're trying to share now?
Most definitely. I say the Florida week of the 2021 year and this past year. I can just remember when we got the team run and it was James Cook, my old roommate, and Chris Smith. Like the first rep of it, it was like collision. And from that moment, I knew we was ready to go play. And then, of course, you heard the halftime speech that Coach Smart gave us. It's been trending ever since. But he knows how to get his guys going. And I'm very thankful that I was able to play up under him. I feel like he's one of the best coaches in the nation at what he does and how he prepares our mindset. And especially like this past year, how he was like pretty much brainwashing us, saying that teams, and like everyone thought that we was going like 7-6, like have a very average record, but we ended up going 15-0. But we played every game like it was our last chance, and like it was a playoff game. And I don't know how he does it, but he do a great job at doing it.
Do you know it's brainwashing when he's saying it, or is it once
not.
the season ends, like, did anybody really pick us to?
Yeah, you really don't understand that it's because you're in the moment, so you're just thinking, man, coach telling us this, so we got to go out there and play. And like some games, even though I know we won the game, but we can go in the next day and feel like we lost. So it's always room for improvement. He pushes us to the limit each and every day, and he gets the best out of us. Like you say, it's 85 scholarships out there. He's going to get every bit of it out you, so he's going to push us.
Kearis, the SEC's talking about going to a 9-game schedule, and if they do that, they're saying that maybe teams will play the same 3 teams every year. What 3 teams from the SEC should Georgia play every year, in your opinion?
Well, I'd say Tennessee, Auburn, and Alabama. Honestly, I mean, I feel like teams, if you're a Georgia fan, I feel like those games always mean the most to you. You know, it's a rivalry game, and just add Bama in there as well, just knowing the history behind that game. And the last time we played them, we won, of course, and for a national championship. So I feel like those 3 games there would be like standing opportunities that fans will only like, but the players will like as well, because we like going against the best of the best, and not saying the other teams are not capable of doing that. It's just the rivalry and the history behind those 3 teams.
Coach Smart has talked about the advantages of maybe having the game with Florida back in Athens. Would you like to see that in the future?
Yeah, that would be a dangerous sight to see. I mean, from a fan's standpoint, I mean, I cannot imagine how it would be in the stadium and just knowing that. But honestly, I like playing in Jacksonville. Having it split 50-50 is always a different atmosphere. I mean, from a recruiting standpoint, I can see where Coach Smart comes from, but from a player standpoint, I like playing in Jacksonville. It was always a memorable opportunity to go play in the Jaguar Stadium, seeing the stadium split like that, all fans there, their fans there. But it's nothing like winning that game, man. I was pretty much undefeated up until like one season. I didn't win, but it's okay. I still would come out victorious, 2-time national champ and an SEC champ. So I think that career was pretty successful.
Now that you're out of the receiver room, what should we be looking for from those guys next year? Maybe not necessarily Ladd and Dylan and Marcus, guys that we know, but maybe somebody that we haven't seen as much of.
Yeah, the standard has already been set. I mean, those guys would have never transferred in or even wanted to commit to the school. They didn't see what we would like. Guys like me, guys like who that came before me have done at the University of Georgia. I mean, those guys have an opportunity in front of their hands to go do great things in life. They'll never probably even imagine us as far as winning championships. And just being on a team that's like that, it'll prepare you for the next level as well. Just the coaching staff gonna always prepare you. The strength coach is gonna always prepare you. So it's no reason to attend Georgia. And if I was a recruit out there now, it's like Georgia is the standard, and that's what's set now. I mean, it showed back-to-back years, even from the previous years, even though we came up short. It was always something that we were going out there to prove, and I feel like that we was in a situation now that, I mean, why not Georgia?
You think they can three-peat?
I believe so. I mean, that team last year was young, and they know what it took to get there. So I feel like they got the same guys with an addition to some early enrollees and some transfers that come in that can help out as long as they play as a team and know the standard. And the standard has already been set. They'll be fine.
If the 2021 team played the 2022 team, who wins?
What would be the score?
Who wins?
Who
What's
will
the score?
win? That's a tough question, but of course, I mean, I get into this argument all the time with James because I talk to him the most. That was my roommate. I say, man, we set the standard. We beat Bama. I was like, but we went 15-0. So I always say 15-0 versus 14-1. So I mean, but in my heart, I say the 2021 team.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
Kearis,
So can we get one? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Kearis, how does it feel back to be back in Indy?
Feels great, not as cold as it was when we first came in January a couple years ago, but it feels great to be back. I know where I'm at. I know the atmosphere here. But like I said, I'm here for a business interview, and I'm here to go earn me a job.
Speaking of the interview, you got held up medicals, everything good?
Everything good, yes, sir. Everything is fine.